Hey guys, welcome back to the Phoenix Rising. Today I'm gonna do a unboxing of a deck that I've had on my wish list for quite some time, and I finally was able to get a copy. So as you guys can tell by the deck now, but by the title, it is the Marshmallow Marseille. So this was one of those decks that I had on my wish list as soon as it came out, as soon as the first edition came out, and I just kept pushing and pushing it from week to the next month, and then I just completely kind of forgot about it until like the day of when people were announcing on Facebook that it went out of print. So I was like, God damn it. But then the creator announced that he was working on the second edition, and he had pre-orders. Probably, I want to say maybe like within a month of the first edition being out of print. I can't remember exactly, but it was a really fast process. He had it in pre-order, but I'm kind of getting a little jaded with pre-orders on decks. The wait is, I'm just very impatient. I'm not good with patience. So anyway, I'm not gonna ramble about that. Let's go ahead and look at the packaging. So this edition does come in a great packaging. The packaging that it came with when it got shipped, it only had this very thin layer of bubble wrap, which most of the bubbles have been already popped. So that tells you that it went through hell getting here, because it was being shipped from China. But the difference, I don't have the first edition, obviously, as I mentioned. The first edition came in a tuck box. There's definitely a big improvement here, because we have this very sturdy magnetic closure box. Let me just go ahead and open that real quick. Make sure I don't ruin it. Should be enough, I think. So yeah, it feels wonderful. It's got that very nice matte finish to it, but then it's got that silver overlay, which gives it that very cool effect. And this deck is by Wandering Oracle, and I believe the creator is George. He's from Mexico, so Jorge. But yeah, so like, but it obviously didn't come from Mexico. It came from China, I believe. But yeah, so it's got this beautiful magnetic closure box. It's a little stiff to open, but yeah, just gotta, bend it a little bit more. There you go. So I love these boxes. These are my favorite kind of boxes for tarot decks. Ever since getting the Fountain Tarot, I've been loving these boxes. More so than the two-part piece boxes that you see with other decks. Or, I guess those are the only kind. Or Lo Scarabeo sometimes has, like, the lid. It's got, like, a top lid, and you open it, and the cards stick out, so you can just pull them out. Those are cool, but I love these, because you don't have to worry about having two separate pieces. It's all in one. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the cards out. So the inside, so this deck is dedicated to someone. Okay, so the packs, as you guys can tell, are really, really cool. Okay, let me slide this out. So the cardstock It's not bad. I saw a couple of reviews for this edition, comparing it with the first one, and I'm kind of did prefer the first edition's cardstock. Well, I mean, I've never felt it, but it did seem like it was better. This one's not bad at all. I honestly, I was kind of afraid I was gonna hate it. It's not bad. It's got some sort of coating on it, so it's got that sheen. Makes the colors pop a little bit more. But the back are really, really cool. I would have loved to have this deck come in a plastic cardstock, not like heavily laminated like you see with the Marielle with a Schiffer Publishing Company, but with the golden thread. Let me bring that out. And I still gotta do a review on this one because it's amazing. So, for the golden thread, it's 100. I think it's like 100% plastic. Let me see if it says. Doesn't say on the box. Yeah, so it's eco-friendly plastic cards, and they're just flexible. They're so thin, you can flex them as much as you want, and look at, they just like go straight back to their straightness. This deck would have been so much better if it was this kind of cardstock, especially with this the sheen on the back, because this one has it all over. Anyway, I'll do a walkthrough on this next, I guess. But anyway, other than that, it's not bad. It feels very matte finish, but it does have that sheen, that coating on it. And it is a pip deck, so I'm gonna make it quick. I do like the size, but I'm not a big fan of pocket decks. I much rather have the standard or even bigger size tarot decks. So let's go ahead and separate the cards here. So let's look at the Fool. So it's very Marseille style. And I think some of the cards might be... No, never mind. I thought some of them were a little lighter weight, but it's not. All of them are definitely Marseille. But as you guys can tell, it's the colors are very different than your typical Marseille, which I really do enjoy. And the lettering, the wording, the name, the titles are not found on the bottom because it's a borderless deck. So they will be found in different places around the card. So this is a Magician. The number 1 will be here. And then some of the comments or some of the videos that I've seen are people mentioning that you can see the imprint. I don't know if you guys will see it here. I don't know. You can't really see it on the camera. The imprint of the backs. And you do see that it's raised a little bit. It's not too bad though. And then here we have the Empress. Very emperor-like. Okay, so then we have the Emperor. And the number is located right here and the name right there. So that's kind of cool. I like how they're in different areas of the cards. The Pope. Then we have the very traditional Marseille style lovers. Chariot. And I do love how most of the color palette for most of the deck, there's a lot of greens, but yet you still have these like bubblegum hot pink color just being added in like certain places, and it just kind of makes the picture pop a little bit more, and I do really love that. Justice. So Justice we have for number 8. Then we have the Hermit. And there's blue as well, but the dominant colors are green. Wheel of Fortune, very medieval looking. And then we have Justice for number 11. The Hangman. The death card is numbered and named. Temperance. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the entire deck, alongside with the Moon. But I just love, I love how the Devil has his like a lot of like pink and purple kind of in it. So it's kind of cool how it kind of lightens the tone of the card. And then we have the Tower. The Star, very beautiful. And I love how he continues kind of the theme of the Marseille, how when it's being colored, it doesn't really stay within the lines, or it doesn't color all of it, what's supposed to be colored. Doesn't yeah, it's very yeah, it's kind of fun how he does it with the watercolor. And then the Moon. I don't know why I love this Moon so much. It's got to be the rich and the deepness in the colors that it has, especially up here in the sky. It's so beautiful. Then we have the Sun. And finally, we have the last 2 cards, Judgment and the World. Very beautiful. I do really enjoy the color palette, the art style. It's a fun deck. Okay, now we have the minors. So we have the cups here. And in this one, you can see that imprint. Do you see that right there? That's the imprint from the background. It's found in probably all the cards. It's not too bad, but yeah, it's noticeable in person. So let's go ahead and move along. The 2. We have that growth. I love the Marseille style where it's got the plants, the use of plants. 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9, and then 10. It's got that bigger cup on top. We have the Page, the Knight. I love how the horse is that hot pink color. Queen and King. Now the denier, which is the coins. The Ace. The 2, very traditional, 2, and then the 3, so 4, then we have the 5. So the order of all the pips you'll find in your traditional Marseille, which you'll have the 4 and then the 3, and then next will be 4, 4, 4, 4, right on top of each other, having that structure, having that double stability. And then we have the 9 and 10, 5 and 5. Okay. So I'm going to move a little bit quicker here. There's plenty of videos on this deck. And then there's videos, a comparison video where they compare both of the editions. You guys can just look that up if you want to see it. Nine, 10. Then we have court cards. Okay. I'm going to go even quicker on this. You guys already know what the swords look like. They're the ones that are bending. I don't know why they did that, but and then third they got that straight sword cutting through. I don't know which way is the traditional way, if it should be pointing up or pointing down. I guess it kind of would depend on the type, either type 1 or type 2. I don't know if it does. And then you got that single sword in the center turning into a rose. Five, 6, 7, like that. Comes on the side. 8, 9. Cross. Let me do a little comparison before. And a king. I think the horses on each, yeah, they're all different. And I want to see the directions that they're all facing. And this one's pink. So then you would have, because with pip decks, it's directional. A lot of it has to do with directions. So I guess most of them are going to the right. I mean to the left. But this one's looking back. His body is going to the left, but looking back. And these are all facing to the, I guess, past. And this is the only one that's heading to the future, facing forward. And I do like how each one is different colors. Okay, then I'm gonna shuffle it real quick. See how it looks in the spread. So it shuffles really nice if you overhand shuffle. I just suck at it, but I much more prefer riffle shuffling. So that shuffles nice. So what I've learned, or to get a really good shuffle, if you're starting with a deck that's in order, is overhand shuffling, and then riffle shuffling once. Okay, let's see how it looks in the spread.